Our favorite borough, right? The Bronx. She's a South Bronx girl who made her way to Hollywood and onto the screen as a main character in a very popular CW show.
You'll recall we last left our Jane fleeing her own unicorn party. This is bad, people.
Where's she going?
No lo sé, pero vamos a ir detrás de ella.
I'm coming with you. You are? Yes, of course. I care about Jane too.
And she needs her to corroborate an alibi.
Someone, get that little donkey with a horn out of my house. I don't care how magical it may be. I am not dealing with unicorn poop.
How would we find her? Easy. We're a find my friends kind of family. Okay, where'd you go, Jane?
Found her.
Jane! What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Bring the show back. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Andrea Navedo plays Xiomara Villanueva, a.k.a. Jane's mom in the hit show Jane the Virgin. Her character faces many obstacles and evolves over the course of 5 seasons, not unlike Navedo herself.
Yes, now she's taking her real-life knowledge and experience to the pages of her new book, of course, which is called Our Otherness is Our Strength, Wisdom from the Boogie Down Bronx. And she is here today to tell us all about it. Welcome, Andrea Navedo.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
It's so great to see you.
Thank you. It's so great to see you. Thank you for having me. I love the new space.
The space, you like it?
So
Yeah,
beautiful.
You know, we only broke the sofa once.
Twice, actually, I think, but who's counting? Wasn't us.
It's, first of all, amazing how you're aging in reverse.
I was just going to say, no time has passed at all for you. It's not fair.
Thank you.
When you see that clip of Jane the Virgin, what goes through your mind?
Oh my goodness. I mean, Jane the Virgin was a magical time in my life. It was a dream come true. It was the show that I needed to see when I was growing up. And so, you know, yes, that was one of the inspirations for my book was, you know, I felt like, okay, here I have a platform. There's so many young kids following me. And, you know, I wanted to be able to speak to them and let them know that where I came from was just like them.
That's right.
I love that. I mean, we saw the clip. We've heard from you. It aired right here on the CW,
Yes.
but it's basically 3 generations of Latina women, and there's a lot of scenes in the show where you're speaking Spanish, which obviously we talk about representation and how necessary and important it is all the time, as I know you're aware, but what is the significance of not only seeing yourself or someone like you on there, but also then speaking Spanish in this show?
I mean, it's huge. It just makes a whole bunch of cultures, not just Latino cultures, but any culture that's been watching Jane the Virgin feels like they're being seen and heard. The sensibility that when you have multi-generations of immigrants in a family, they tend to speak bilingually. And that was something that wasn't really shared in television or shown in television. So, you know, that was one of the groundbreaking things that I think Jane the Virgin did among many others.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, I remember watching it, and we are contemporaries, and I just remember thinking, there's someone who looks like me.
Yeah.
And there's someone who speaks
Who's
like
acting
me.
like how I act in my home. And right here when we're getting ready. Sometimes the conversation will bleed from English to Spanish. And I'm like,
But that, I think, is the natural cadence of so many Latinos, not only just here in New York, but just here in the lower 48.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. Fast forward, and you find yourself at your alma mater, DeWitt Clinton.
DeWitt Clinton High School. Hello. Actually, I was one of the first girls in DeWitt Clinton. You know, it used to be an all-boys school, famous for like Ralph Lauren,
Colin Powell,
Judd Hirsch.
That's right.
I mean, just so many famous celebrities came from DeWitt Clinton High School, and I was one of the first girls. That first wave of girls. And
no kidding.
Yeah.
way to go.
Wow.
Okay, girl.
No, it was pretty cool to like see all these black and white photos of all these white old guys, you know.
And there you are. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably looking the exact same as she does right now, sitting on this couch.
Today. So you give the commencement speech, and that is the first seed of, I have something here to say.
Yeah, so I was invited. Here it is 30 years later, going to my high school alma mater, and I'm here going to talk to these black and brown kids that were sitting in the very same seats that I had been sitting. You know, I was on Jane the Virgin. It put me on the map, and many of them were fans of the show. And so what was I going to say, and would they be able to relate to me? And so what I tried to think of for my speech was stories or experiences that they may have seen or heard of or been through themselves, challenging experiences. One on a smaller level was that it took me 5 years to graduate high school, something that I was really ashamed of for a really long time. But then what I realized, and I shared this with the audience, was that it doesn't take, you know, when you get a diploma, it doesn't say how many years it took to graduate. It just says you graduated, period. With all the strikes against me, and I still came out winning, I still came out successful. So at the end of that speech, a lot of kids came up to me thanking me for sharing my stories, but one in particular was a Latina with tears in her eyes, and she said to me, "Thank you for sharing that story, because I'm graduating today and it's taken me 5 years.
Wow.
And if it took you 5 years and you still came out winning, I can do it too." So that was the inspiration for this book. I said, I want to share these stories with not only Black and brown kids, but anyone who feels like they're the other, meaning not in the mainstream, feeling invisible. And so that was the inspiration for this book.
Wow.
How long was this then once you, from that point until where we are right now?
How long did it take?
How long did it take? And then, what else can you share with us from the book?
Sure. Well, it took a few years, and it took a lot of me getting past my own self-doubts on whether I was smart enough to write a book, or whether I could see it through to the end. And after COVID and going through some life challenges, I've said, you know what? Life is short.
Yeah.
Write the book.
What am I doing with myself? And so instead, what I ended up trying to find a writing coach, and instead ended up pitching my idea, unbeknownst to me, that I was actually I wasn't even trying to get it published. I was just trying to write a book. And it got picked up. They loved it, and they've said yes, and they gave me the green light, and it took a year and a half of going to the coffee shop and typing away. So the main I guess, theme of the book is to encourage people who feel like they're on the outside looking in, whatever their otherness is. For me, it was being Latina from the Bronx and brown skin, feeling like, you know, those were strikes against me. But what I realized was that they actually weren't strikes against me. They were the things that could be my superpower to be successful. Like, for example, in an acting career, which, you know, growing up in the Bronx and growing up with all my challenges, it made me strong. It toughened me. It made me hungry. It made me motivated. You know, so many things. You have to have a tough skin, right? Even to be in your business.
It's
right?
not for the weak.
No, it's not for the weak. And so, thank you, Latina parents. Thank you, the Bronx. Thank you for all of it, because I am tough and stronger for it, and I think it put me on the map.
Yes,
you put yourself on the map.
Clarification.
And,
Exactly.
and I think this story is just, it resonates with me, obviously, because I feel like we're cut from similar cloths.
Sure.
But I think it resonates with anybody.
It was a story that was needed.
Yeah, a story that was needed. And I also appreciate that you're changing the narrative of the Bronx. The Bronx has gone through this evolution.
Yes.
With staying true to its roots, which I think is kind of a metaphor for you as well.
Yeah. And, you know, the Bronx has a reputation worldwide. And I love telling people that I'm from the Bronx, because, you know, they'll be surprised. I have this idea. And it's like, no, there are awesome freaking human beings.
Yes, ma'am.
Human beings living in the Bronx who have contributed globally to the fabric of our society, contributed through the arts and technology and all kinds of things.
We're more than just the zoo and the Yankees.
That's right, exactly.
Put that on a tombstone. Okay, and you have something exciting coming up. Fans can come meet you this Saturday, or later this month, actually, at the Strand. So tell us about what's happening.
Yeah, so my book is launching. We're having a launch party July 20th at the Strand Bookstore in Manhattan. Please register. You can go to the Strand's book website to register, or you can click on the link in my bio and my Instagram page, Andrea Navedo. And it's going to be fun. I'll be having a talk back with a fellow Boricua. Her name is, oh my God, it's going to escape me, Claire Jimenez.
Oh, gee.
For a second there, I was like, what? No, it's being on. It's like, oh, shit.
Right. It's okay.
You're going to bleep that, right?
You're
It's
good.
okay. It's fine. Well, congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
We will direct people to all the fabulous places so they can come meet you in person.
Yes, please.
And
Thank
I
you.
hope we see you on the silver screen again.
Yes.
Oh, yes, you will. I actually am in a movie coming out in August called Miguel Wants to Fight, and it'll be on Hulu. It's premiering August 14, 15, somewhere in there.
Beautiful, right around the corner.
Thank you so much.
Andrea, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Our Otherness is Our Strength. Wisdom from the Boogie Down Bronx is available anywhere books are sold.